This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
That was kind of a funny voice recording there. Yeah, you do kind of have a radio voice, don't you? Anyway, this is Dan calling. Talk to you when I talk to you. Later, bye.
27th of February, 2021. My name is Corey Winfield, and this is the 217 Recovery Podcast. What's up, Dan? Dan's hanging out in Hawaii right now. Loving life, I'm sure. Northern Michigan, it's not bad, actually, as we're still in winter, of course, but it's been kind of warm the past week or so, except in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, is a absolute blizzard. This last week I had to take quite a few people to and from treatment, so I had a chance to help a lot of people this past week, and that was one of my trips. And man, it's kind of scary sometimes when you're driving on those roads, and I had a oh Jesus moment, but he saw me through it, and I'm here doing a podcast tonight, so I appreciate it, Lord. Thank you. Glad Jesus is a big fan of mine. Podcast is going well. My mom, though, mentioned I had a chance to see her tonight, her and my stepfather, that, you know, she's like, you know, you just seem so negative lately on the podcast. And I don't know, maybe I'm a little frustrated or something, but, you know, she noted and pointed out, which, you know, moms are usually right, that I need to do the things that make me happy from time to time, and maybe spend more time making myself feel not like on vacation, but just kind of relax for a minute and enjoy the moment, you know. And that's something that I'm gonna do over the next few weeks, and we'll see if that makes a difference in the podcast. And if they're still negative, then I'll figure something else out. And I don't mean to be negative with it. And that's the thing, you know, we preach, you know, having fun in recovery, and I'd like to have fun. I really do. But sometimes things just come up, and it's just like blah, 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 one after another. And I don't mean to make it sound like such a negative podcast, so I apologize if you kind of got the same vibe as my mom did. But with that said, I had a chance to take a guy today to treatment, and it was pretty cool. We had some great conversations. I didn't get stuck in his driveway. And he let me in on something that we're going to play on the podcast, I would say within the next 2 weeks. But I got to figure out how I'm going to play it and what I'm going to say about it. And I think I want to have like a round table. Like, I want to make sure Marnie's in on it. Maybe get my friend George, my friend Tony, you know, just some of the people that have been on the podcast before a few times, just to kind of get their take on what went down and what was said. Because a lot of times for good reason, you know, we'll go to treatment, and especially me, man, I was always trying to leave early because I've heard this before. Yeah, I got it, man, you know, kind of attitude. And you know, often it was me just making excuses like, oh, I already heard this before, you know, just come pick me up, you know, I'm out of here. I just need to get back to work. I need to make some money. That was me over and over. And it would make my family very frustrated because I'm like, damn it, Corey, like, you said you were going to go for real this time, and you only stayed 20 days. Like, this was a 8-month program, and you stayed 20 days? Like, come on, man. You told us all you were going to do it. Because you've heard it before. Okay. But sometimes we're told things and people don't believe us, and we're like, look, you know, I wanted to get in here, and the guy told me that I needed to drink to get in, but I told him that my doctors told me if I drink again, my liver can seize up and I would die. So I really would rather not drink again, but they won't let me in unless I do drink, you know, or, you know, they'll tell you that, oh, well, no, like, you want to go to this place, but you can't because we called and they don't have a bed. And then you call them out on it and say, hey, you know, what about that place? And you call that place, and they go, oh, no one even, that place even called us before. Wait, what? They just told me they did call you. Nope, I'm telling you, I'm the only one working, and no one from there called me. And it's like, well, why would they lie to me? Just like different little situations like that where, we're like being for real with it. And then we say, hey, no, Mom, like, here's the reason why I didn't go. Or, talk to your wife or, a family member or a friend and just say, no, look, this is why, this is what happened. This is what they told me. And a lot of times they're going to be like, no, there's no way they told you that. There's no way. Like sometimes I would call and try to go back to treatment, and I would get the whole, oh, we just see that you were just there a month ago. What's changed? Like, well, I don't know. I want to learn. I don't want to be living like this for the rest of my life. I really need help. Oh, well, what are you going to learn this time that you didn't learn the last 14 times? It's like, well, I don't know. That's why I need to go back. Oh, well, they gave me this like big runaround like a few times. And after a while, I know that sounds kind of weird when I say it like that, but after a while, I just got used to their like mental beatdown of me, and making me feel like I was less than I deserved. Like I didn't deserve to call and ask for help again. I deserve to go crawl under a bridge and die because I should have gotten it the first 10 times I went to treatment. That's what I felt like. After a while, I just kind of believed it, and I was just ready to take their punishment when I would call, and that's sad, and it happens. Now, it's not going to happen to everybody, and I'm not going to sit here and say it was Swimba, or if it was, Lakeshore, or, I'm talking about some of the PHPs here in Michigan, the prepaid insurance health provider, that's what that stands for, but I'm not going to say which one it was or who, because it could have been any of them. It could have happened at any of them. And if you're in the state, maybe you have kind of the same thing going on, but I can only speak for what I know of, and that's here in Michigan. And you're going to get some people that probably do that. Some people probably don't. I don't know. But I'm just telling you what I experienced and the frustration, and I'm already at a low, and now these people are like beating me down to go even lower, and that was very frustrating. But it happens. And so if a loved one that or maybe it's happened to you, you've experienced the same thing. I've talked to many people who experienced the same exact thing. Don't let that discourage you. It's not about those people, and it's not their money. A lot of people go to treatment off of the liquor tax. Yeah, I know I've paid into that quite a bit. So, don't let them think that it's their money. It's not their money. You're trying to get help, and that's what it's there for. And if you didn't need help, they wouldn't even have a job. So you should maybe mention, hey, a thank you from you would be nice if you're going to give me crap, because without me calling you right now, you wouldn't have a job. So you're welcome that my suffering has led to you having a job. Sorry. See, and there you go again. And I'm trying not to be negative. I'm just saying, for people who still need to go reach out and might come across that. I'm just saying. Don't feel bad about it at all. But when I'm going to play for you in a couple weeks, hopefully it opens up some eyes and ears throughout the state of Michigan. And I'm talking about with the lawmakers and people who would really not take an addict's word for it, but something was recorded, and I'm going to play it, and it's going to shock some people, but it didn't shock me. It just made me go, wow, like that woman has some balls to say that. Like, you'd rather have him die. Okay. Like, it just, what she was saying made no sense. And that's the kind of thing, like, the governor, bless her heart, and other people, they just think, well, we'll fund these people. We'll give them the money they need, and then they'll go out and they'll do their job. That's not the case. Those people aren't being held accountable for doing their job or for not doing their job. And if some people want to go to work at 9 and leave at 5, that's cool, man. But when people's lives are at stake and when people need help, it doesn't stop at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Maybe going at noon, work till 9. I don't know. But whatever, whatever they need to set up, they need to do a little bit better, in my professional opinion, as a radio broadcaster, or my opinion as a professional radio broadcaster, that is. But some of the things that could be done, I think, just a little bit more attention to detail, or maybe just different people in different positions. You know, there are a lot of people in positions that I think that they probably don't belong in, and these people are the ones making money. And maybe they're good at getting in front of crowds or different organizations and asking for money and preaching about what they do and blah, blah, blah. Maybe that's how they got their job, and now all of a sudden their job entails they go actually talk to somebody with the problem, and then they're just baffled and stunned, and they don't know what to do. You know, again, maybe they're in the wrong role. You know, maybe that organization has to define their roles a little bit better, but when you hear it, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. And it'll enrage some people, absolutely. And hopefully people aren't out there dying right now because of the same thing. But give me a couple weeks to put that together and figure out how actually I'm gonna do that. But I like the idea of getting a few guys together and my wife and getting their honest reaction from it and their opinion on it. It's going to make some people mad, and when I mean mad that it got out. Mad that we're talking about it, and how could that happen? How could this get out? Kind of thing. But it will. I'm looking forward to it, for sure. Looking forward to it. But like I said, I just want to take my time with it and make sure we do it the right way. Because at first I just wanted to blast it everywhere and be like, "Can you believe this?" But sometimes it's best not to react. So I'm doing my best to act and at least have some kind of thought going into it. So, obviously we're not in the studio tonight. I don't know if you can tell with the microphones, different microphone, but we had a little business trip. And one thing I realized about Grand Rapids, and I don't know what it is, man, but this is the most backed up city. And when I mean backed up, I mean backed into parking spots. I don't know why or how or what. I was always taught that if someone's backing into a parking spot, it's because they're about to rob the place, But everybody here, man, I swear to you, they're all backing into the parking spots. And it takes way more time. I don't understand it. I don't know if this is something they teach in driver's ed in Grand Rapids. I'm just confused by it. I mean, they're stopping traffic so they can back into a parking spot. It's just, I don't know. For me, it's just silly. I mean, I don't know. I just don't get it. I've never seen it as much ever in my life, and I'd like to congratulate Grand Rapids on winning that award for me as the most backed up parking spot city on the earth. So there you go, Grand Rapids. I'm going to give your award to the mayor next week. And you can go downtown and see it, I guess. But Marnie agreed with me, too. She was with me. She was like, yeah, you're right. Everybody's backing in everywhere. It's weird, man. It's very weird. But other than that, though, just a quick podcast tonight. Like I said, we're on the road. But I just wanted to check in and tell you I'm not going to be negative, and then I told you I'm going to drop some bombs on you. It's going to sound kind of negative, but hopefully not too bad.
Man.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But thanks again for listening. Since I'm not being negative, I'm not going to talk about the app and the Google store and all that yet. If you have the app, that's great. If you don't, well, just keep listening how you are. But share this with your friends. Like I said, that news coming up in a couple weeks. It's going to be a pretty big thing. So, tell your friends to like us now and to start listening and subscribe, review us however you listen. Pandora, iHeart, Apple, Google Podcasts. We do appreciate it. And like I said, we do have an app. It's not in the Google Play Store. I don't know. It could be now by the time you're listening to this. We were there, and then we weren't, and then we were, and then we weren't. But we still should be in the iOS store with a new version of it being published, I don't know, sometime in the next week. But, thanks for listening. And I'll talk to you later. Actually, tomorrow.